What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel as we get started here today on stage 5, Tour of Watopia, 5th and final stage. We've ridden the flats through Watopia, we've gone up the volcano, we've taken the dirt through the jungle, and this is the final level. It's called the Big Boss. It goes up the epic Reverse KOM, and then it also goes up the radio climb. So for those who have been with me along the way, they know how Tour of Watopia works, but for those who are new here, Tour of Watopia within Zwift. Watopia is Zwift's virtual world, so they have maps through New York, Paris, London, many cities around the world, but they also have this virtual world that they created that has deserts, mountains, volcanoes, everything where you can kind of ride through, even this beach downtown where we just started here today. So this tour that's lasted about a month long has had 5 stages where they're just group rides with hundreds of other riders riding live in Zwift to really experience everything Watopia has to offer. So this is the 5th and final version here today. Stage 5 going up the Big Boss. Very hilly. I'm used to the short crits, not many hills, so this really tested me here today. I didn't take it too tough, didn't act like this was a race, but still pushed myself. As we start here through Downtown Watopia, we'll quickly jump up to the climbing section. It gets started pretty quickly, so just a little bit of more details on the route. Like I said, it goes up the Reverse Epic KOM and then the radio tower climb. And this was actually the shorter ride, so each stage has a shorter ride and longer ride. As we make our way, 13% grade, immediately get into it. We're now 5 miles in. This is a total route was about 20 miles with over 2,000 feet of elevation gain. So we can kind of track on the top. We see we're 5.1 miles in, just going 5 miles an hour here, and have completed just over 800 feet of elevation gain. So not quite halfway, but already 30 minutes into this route. As we just, all of a sudden we're high enough that we're into the snow. So as we get to the top of the Reverse Epic KOM and then the radio tower at the top, we're above the tree line. It's cold, everything's turning to snow. I don't live in the most hilly area of the US or anywhere in the world, so I don't experience this on any of my rides, but I've seen some of the other YouTubers who take these rides where it starts and it could be 60 degrees Fahrenheit, but then it drops 40 degrees as they climb up into the mountains. So it's really interesting. Here I'm doing it in Zwift, but never really done it in real life. So like I said, 20 miles, 2,000 feet of elevation gain. This is my first time up the radio tower climb, so the way up is going to be a struggle as we jump forward. This is actually at the very top now, so there's this little kind of turnaround when you get to the top, the radio tower and a little kind of chalet at the top as we see people starting to come down next to me. Worked so hard to get up. I'm actually excited about the route down, just see how much speed I can pick up. So we'll find out in a few minutes as we make kind of just the last push up this climb, along with a mountain biker. Man, that's a long way to climb up on a mountain bike, but props to him or her. Let's see. Can't tell by the first name, but ahead of me, so that's impressive. So this is the last stage of Tour of Watopia, and up next, Zwift just announced, is the Giant Crit Crushers. So we go from this tour of their mythical island, and then we're jumping into crit races. So this is a little bit more of my specialty, or at least what I have more experience with. It'll be 4 weeks long with 8 races, so I guess a race every 3 or 4 days. It starts May 5th, this is of 2021, and lasts until May 27th. And it's sponsored by Giant, so called Giant Crit Crushers. So racers will have the opportunity to unlock either a Giant jersey if you're in a men's race, or a live jersey if you're in a women's race. So that'll be cool. Tour of Watopia came with 2 different kits. This first one is for anyone who completed at least one of the stages that everyone's wearing today on this ride, this white jersey. But for anyone who completed all 5 stages, there's also another kit unlock, kind of as your prize of taking the tour around Watopia. So here we're getting to the very top of the climb. It's a lot like the volcano climb. You make your way up. There's kind of this little circle at the top around the top of the mountain, or for the volcano around the crater in the middle. And then you end up going back down the same exact route you came up. So in just 7.5 miles here, as we take, man, look how high that is. That's a great view. A great view in a virtual world. I can only imagine kind of riding through the mountains in the Alps or somewhere, and how an entire day of climbing could be worth it once you get to the top and see that view. This honestly reminds me of like a ski lodge at the top of a mountain, and kind of those like lifts that go up to the top of the mountain, and this would be like some kind of chalet. But we start making our way down. This is where more of the fun part starts. It's a tough ride up the top, but I'm not putting in too much of an effort, but still 200 watts is definitely more than I averaged. Well, in here I go up to 400, so I guess I did. I was kind of interested in seeing how fast I could go. And then eventually I can just dial off the watts and my rider will go into a super tuck, still legal in Zwift. We get over 50 miles an hour. Just starting to enjoy the ride down. And this is, I mean, coming to the end of the Tour of Watopia. There's still over 10 miles left, but thinking back, it's been just a fun event overall. I think since I started Zwift, this is really the first event I've been kind of been a part of and completed. I know they've had other tours of Watopia and tours of Zwift, but this is the first one I completed all 5 stages. As we jump forward, so now we're ending downtown. So for those who have stuck through all 5 stages and watched my videos, thanks, and I hope you learned and enjoyed watching the different maps that Watopia has to offer. I'm looking forward, now that this is over with, to do the crit crushers. I'll definitely post some of those races. I have some other Zwift map races. Zwift map kind of ride-alongs, just showing the different routes available within Zwift. But then also some live races where I'll jump on video and kind of show the full race and provide some commentary, what I'm thinking during the actual race itself. So here we go, finish line, stage 5 Tour of Watopia. Thanks guys for watching. As always, I appreciate it. This is Cadman Cycling, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Thanks. Bye.